Hey everybody, Rio Daniel here, and right now in this live, what we're going to be doing is going to start covering some of the voice AI agents. Now, before I kind of hop into that, I do want to sit back and let everybody know that this is the last live training that I'm going to do, where I open up all the sort of Q&A area to subscribers on my channel. So right now, if you are currently a subscriber, then again, this will be the last one. We're going to be able to do that moving forward. I have opened up memberships on my YouTube channel, and this is just sort of a way for, there's a lot of people that have just been wanting to get a lot of the questions answered and kind of see the technology and use it in real time. So I'm trying to sit back and make these lives fun, entertaining, and things like that. But moving forward, members only in my channel will be able to sit back and interact. Everybody else, you will be able to watch. You just won't be able to comment and so forth on the training. So just want to give you a heads up about that, and just making sure we are good here. Give me a second. Oh, sorry about that. So let's take a look here. Alrighty, so we've got everybody, if you could, this is going to be a little bit different of a presentation here. I've got a little bit of construction going on outside, so sorry if it gets a little bit louder, but can you guys that are logged in here just send me a comment, let me know if the audio is working well before we kind of get started, because this is going to be pretty critical to the live. We're going to be having some fun talking about the voice AI agent configuration. There's I chose this one. The members of my channel, I gave them a poll and sort of the website funnel design or the sort of voice AI agent, and it was about 50-50, but I chose the voice AI agent because there is a cool new feature that Highlevel just released here in the last few days that I want to show you, and it has to do with the voice AI agent. Super cool. So right now we've got a couple people. Perfect. Let me move this up here. Give me a second. Here we go. Okay, great. Awesome. Hey, Sean. Good to see you. Thanks for being on here. Let me adjust this. I'm still trying to get used to this live here and making sure that we can see everybody. Hey, Jesse. Awesome. All right. So, guys, here's what it is. In October last year at the summit, Highlevel released these the voice AI agent and a lot of other AI tools, and since then it has really become just a hot topic. AI in general has become a hot topic as well. So right now people have been looking to start building, and even have built, agencies completely upon the AI features inside of Highlevel. Now we're not going to be talking about all of them. Highlevel has really wrapped all of these AI features into something that they call AI employee. Now the AI employee, again, they kept getting tired of calling this AI, that AI, and just all these different AI tools. They wanted to wrap them all up together and just really kind of make it easier. And they've actually bundled this now, where you can actually purchase sort of an unlimited amount of AI inside, for your particular client. This does have an advantage. So if your client really does use AI, then you could sit back and sell them, potentially sell them an unlimited AI inside of the AI employee, so they can use all of these features included in their subscription, and then you as the agency just sort of knock up their the cost for that monthly subscription plan to include sort of the $97 unlimited AI plan. Now, one thing I do want to mention on this one, for those people that have already signed up, I get this a lot, people have signed up for Highlevel and says like, hey Ray, I'm sorry, I didn't know about you, I've already signed up for Highlevel. You can still become an affiliate of mine if you want to through the AI employee if you haven't already signed up for it, because you do have to go to the agency level and sign up. You can just use my reference code, Ray O'Daniel. And if you do that and you start purchasing the unlimited plan, you will also become an affiliate of mine, get all my bonuses and things like that. So super cool. Just want to let you know about that as well. But I'm really looking to show you some of the voice AI features on this one, some of the new features, and some of the cool stuff that you could do to help you expand your mind. And this is, I'm kind of nervous, to be honest, with this one, because it always makes me nervous when I do lives, because I don't really know if everything's going to work, even though I've tried and tested it a little bit prior to doing live to make sure this stuff all works. It's all a little bit nervous because you never know if it's going to, just completely crap out on you. But hopefully I've got the volume high enough, and we're going to start making some calls, some test calls, and seeing how this stuff works. And I want to show you how you can use and configure AI just in the very basic form, but also how you can start customizing it to maybe ask additional information, and then how do you record that information. I know there's additional fields that you could record called custom fields, and if you haven't been using them, you really should, because they're a great way to extend the CRM system inside of HighLevel to actually hold additional information regarding all of your contacts. Now, what I'm going to show you here is how you can gather basic data, obviously name, phone number, sort of the information regarding why they're calling, stuff like that, and how that stuff is stored. But you can also have custom fields that you can populate as well, and I want to show you how you could record the data to those custom fields, and even if you wanted to trigger workflows, which can in turn automate and do some other cool stuff just from the AI agent. Now, right now, I just want to sit back and ask the people that we have on right now, are there any upfront questions that you want me to try to include? Because I always like to know if I get to a certain part of the presentation where you have a question, then I can sort of stop, pause, and make sure I answer that versus going over it and then have to go back. So let me take a quick look. Anybody here have any particular questions over the features at all? If you do, quickly, I'll glance over again here real quick and just check. But right now what I want to do is go in and just start getting this set up and configured. Now I've got two different tabs going on here, because what I'm doing is I've got one sub account where I'm going to build the agent, and then another sub account where I'm going to call into the other sub account using the voice AI, and we're going to be able to hear that out loud through my microphone, and you guys will be able to hear that too. Hopefully, keep fingers crossed that everything works right. So right now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into, notice that we have nobody here. I've kind of zeroed out everybody from the CRM so we can have a fresh view of that. I'm going to come in here to the voice AI agent. Now, I already have one agent configured just to kind of save time for the presentation, but I do want to sit back and just manually create one and just kind of walk through the basic process. Now, there are 3 steps that you're going to see here: agent details, agent goals, and then phone and availability. And it's like a little wizard, and it is pretty cool and pretty easy to get set up. Literally, if you know what you're doing, or if you're doing this for a particular niche client, you could just simply, the setup of this is going to be super cool, super quick and easy to get the AI agent set up and configured. Now, here's one of the caveats that you may run into. If the current person is using an IVR system, I've seen, at least in my testing, if you have IVR, you have to turn that off. And if you're not familiar, IVR is kind of like the auto attendant, dial 1 for this, dial 2 for that. HighLevel does have that feature. It's actually a workflow. And HighLevel does have a recipe for that workflow that you can enable, but if that workflow is published, if it's turned on, then this is not going to work. IVR, for some reason, still has the highest priority, so it'll answer any of the inbound calls regarding that particular phone number. Nothing I could do about that. Now, some other common questions that we also get with this is that, can we have multiple voice AI agents? Yes, you can. Each voice AI agent is tied to one phone number. So if you have a main phone number where everybody kind of calls, that's the published number through GHL, then that's where you can have one voice AI agent on. So if you have another one, let's just say you have a sales team, and that sales team has their own inbound numbers that they use specifically for their own marketing when they contact their customers or contacts inside of the system, then you could simply have an AI agent for each one of those phone numbers as well. So you can have it, and it is configurable per phone number. So just keep that in mind. And this is where, again, if you sit back and you start looking at it, having an unlimited version of this could be beneficial, because don't get me wrong, I mean, the voice AI agent's great, but there is a cost to this, and I believe the cost is about 13 cents per per minute on this one here. So that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you start getting, most offices probably get anywhere, who knows, 10 to 20 calls a day times the whole month. Now you're looking at 400, 500 calls. Each call could typically last 3 to 5 minutes. I mean, just do the math on that. 1,000 minutes that you're using every month, that's $130, I believe, if I did the math right, or $13, something like that. But it could just add up. So just be careful. And that might be worthwhile to do the unlimited plan for these people. So Let me just take a look here. Yes, I've been having issues with the SaaS configurator feature to offer if you just want to do an employee website. Okay. Well, Jesse, hopefully we'll get some benefit from the Voice AI agent, but I'm really going to be focusing on this. And we're just going to do some demos, show you how it works, and kind of, it's not really that difficult once you go through the settings. Where it really becomes difficult is when you want to start using some of the advanced agent goal features. And again, we'll hop into that here and we'll take a look at all of it. But let's just take a look right here at the screen. I'm going to try to blow it up a little bit just to make it easier. So on this particular screen, you're just going to name the agent. So if this is for the main line, you might want to call it main office line, or if it's for a salesperson, give it a name so when you take a look at it, you can obviously see whose agent that is without having to go in and take a look at all the settings. So the business name here, this could be the actual business name, or if it's a particular salesperson, it could be like business name Ray O'Daniel, just, or something like that. And again, here's the big feature. Here's the thing that a lot of people have been waiting for. Language support. This has just recently come out. Now you have all of these other languages, Portuguese, Spanish, French, German, Italian, and Dutch. All of these are now available inside of it for not just English, but a lot of people have been complaining, sorry, that's a wrong word. They have been asking for multilingual support when it comes to the Voice AI agent because people outside the US have not been able to utilize this feature until now. So this has just been released. Literally, I think I saw Sean come out with the video probably a day or two ago at most, and this is pretty cool. So I hopped in here, played with it, and wanted to do the live today over the Voice AI because I wanted to show you this and actually put this into play and show a live demo of how it works. Right now, we're not going to use a language. I'm going to wait, and I'll get into the different language in a minute. But right now, we're just going to keep it at English. Now, again, we could select our voice. It has several different voices if you want to select multiple different people, depending upon whether or not you want sort of a girly voice. Again, this is Samantha, teen and focused, or you can have more of a mature, deeper voice when they answer, things like that. So just pick a voice that you like, something that's pleasant, move on. Time zone, this right here is going to be important just from the time for being able to track the calls and things like that of what time zones you're going to be in. Right now, notice that this is inbound only. The outbound is still not here. And then here at the bottom, you finally have your sort of initial greeting. How do you want the person to respond to the greeting? Now, right now, this is already kind of pre-built. If you take a look here, hey, you have reached, insert your business name, Digi Global Agency. How can I help you today? And for the purpose of this, I'm not going to sit back and do anything unique. But if you do have a special way that you want to greet the people when they call, then this right here is what you want to do. Now, to kind of give you an idea here, let's just say you have a business where you have a service department and a parts department, something like that. This is where the agent initial message could obviously be different. Because if you're in the service department, you could answer it one way, or if it's in the parts department, you could, hey, you've reached the parts department for ABC Automotive. How can we help you? Something like that. So again, that's just a cool thing that you could do. Now, right now, inside of the advanced settings here, there is some settings that you can adjust here. One of the basic defaults is a 5-minute timeout for the call. Depending upon your average call, this is where you're going to have to sit back and actually talk to the client and find out how long an average call takes. Now, if you're gathering not just basic information like name, email address, and the reason for their call, you're going to maybe need more time. Because if you're asking 2, 3, 4, 5 additional questions on this, then make sure you extend this higher, because at 5 minutes, the call will drop. And this is one of the, again, I would say complaints, but one of the feature sets that you need to adjust. And after 5 minutes, the call limit is reached, and boom, it drops. So make sure you go up. You can go up to a maximum of 15 minutes. You probably shouldn't need that. 5 minutes is a good amount of space for a call to gather information and so forth. Now, the response speed, whenever this goes back to when you give an answer back to the AI, how long should that particular AI agent wait before they move on? I just leave mine at normal. I don't really see a need for it, but you can test this brisk or fast. Maybe different languages, are looking for, different response speeds. Not sure. So right now you could choose that for yourself. So here we're going to go ahead and let me go back out. We're going to go ahead and click next. Now here, This is going to be, I always recommend people, even if you're going to go to the advanced mode, which we'll take a look at the advanced mode in just a minute, always select these initially. Name, and I'm gonna show you why in a minute here. Name, email address. If you don't want their address, then don't do that. Then the context issue. All of these are sort of pre-built things that you have already in the voice AI system. That's going to sit back and yeah, nice blender. Yeah, that's somebody, they're mixing stuff outside. So sorry guys for this. I don't really have any control over that. So sorry again. But right now, select these because that's going to automatically pre-populate some caller fields whenever you sit back and have the advanced mode enabled that you don't have to configure yourself. So it's always an easy way of doing that. If you want to sit back and trigger a workflow whenever this call is completed, for whatever reason, if you want to do something, that's going to be completely up to you. I'm not demoing that today. I'm demoing some of the other features in the advanced configuration. But if you also want to receive an email for the post-call completion, meaning a transcript of the call, things like that, then you can also have that sent as well. I'm going to uncheck that because I'm not going to do that. Now, because of this is the basic information. So I'm just going to move forward and just continue to, I'm not doing advanced mode yet. I'm just going to show you how the basic information is here. Now from this, I will have to sit back and select a phone number. Now notice here that the phone number that I've got configured, I only have one. And this phone number is configurable just for one AI agent. So it's already set up on the other AI agent that I've already got configured. So here, I can't configure it on a second one. So right now, this is, again, the problem is you can set up the agent, but you can't really test it until you sit back and actually sign into a phone number. So right now, I don't have to have a phone number in here selected to configure the agent. I can do that and set up the phone number later. So right now, I'm enabling the AI agent as backup to the phone number. We'll answer the caller if the caller doesn't respond. That's just a setting that you can turn on, or if you want this agent to be working 24 hours, or if you want to have a certain time limit, you can turn that on. So, set it up to work 24/7, for this one, or if you don't, then you can turn that off and actually set time limits for, no, I only want this to work between business hours of 9 to 5. And then after that, if you want to do something else, for instance, if you want to do missed call text back, or just some other way of being able to get the phone or the information when people call, then you can do it then. So again, we'll go ahead and just move forward and click save. And that is the basic setup. It's literally just that simple to get things set up. And if we're going to sit back and call, this would be a very basic plan. And I'm trying not to spend a ton of time here because I do know that the noise is a bit irritating. Again, my apologies for that. But I want to just kind of show you the very basic form of this. But what I want to do is come back into that same agent and then show you inside of the agent goals. If I switch this to advanced mode, here's what we get. Now, the reason I had you select these fields here initially beforehand is that now, because you've selected that, these fields are automatically populated. Otherwise, if you don't select those checkboxes, then you have to manually create these fields, and it's just, I don't know why that happens, but you do. So right now, just select them, and then these fields are automatically populated for you. But here's the advanced mode. Here is the more of the chat GPT prompt that you can go in and edit, configure, and so forth for your AI tool. Now, if you're really good at this, I'm just letting you know I'm not super great at doing prompts for AI. This is always going to be still a learning process. There's going to be a lot of people out there a lot better, so you might want to hire a specialist. If you're really looking to fine tune and have the AI agent do something customized and special, just have somebody create a prompt, put this in here and see how it performs. And it's just pretty cool. But the prompt does allow you to communicate directly with ChatGPT to ask and see how the voice agent responds. Now, there are some additional fields as you see here. From the advanced mode, I could do call transfers. So if call transfer meaning if somebody says something like, I want to speak to a supervisor, I want to speak to a manager, then you can have the call transfer trigger off some of those keywords like supervisor, manager, owner, something like that. And then you can transfer the call, and the AI agent can send them directly to the boss man if that's what you want. Triggering a workflow is the same thing. You can open up trigger a workflow. You have to give it a name, select a particular workflow that you want to publish, and then from there, when to trigger it. So you need to tell it, when should I trigger this workflow? Trigger the workflow if somebody has a question regarding billing or invoicing, as an example. So then it's like, okay, well, if somebody mentions, the bill, an invoice or something like that, then boom, the workflow can be triggered and this happens and whatever you have in the workflow happens. So that right there, and then what do you want to say when the workflow is being triggered? So, you have to sit back and say something, which I wish they wouldn't necessarily have this because it would be nice if they just did it. But unfortunately, this is a required field if you take a look at the star here. So you do have to have something in here that the voice AI agent says, like, okay, we'll definitely take care of that, or, we're currently processing that now, something like that. So unfortunately, that is the case. Now, I'm going to work on this update contact field and then the trigger workflow. I'm going to show you some examples of that today in the other voice AI agent that I configured because I wanted to have it ready and I wanted to save a little bit of time. But I did want to sit back and at least show you how you would get the basic setup configured, walk you through that in case you haven't been through that process yet before. So great, I'm going to get to some questions here in just a minute. Some of the things I want to sit back and help you understand as well is the voice AI agent really works off the phone number. So the phone number has its own configuration too that can be set up. Now let me show you what I mean by that. Inside of this one, I do have one phone number and it's already A2P registered for this particular demo. But I did want to sit back and look at the configuration. Now in here, I actually have call recording enabled. Okay, so this right here, if you don't want call recording enabled, which you don't have to, then you can just simply uncheck this. But also one of the things that we're going to find out here is that the call recording, the voice number says this message first before the AI agent picks up. So if you do have call recordings enabled, then it has to say this, and unfortunately, this is not multilingual. Okay, so even if you have it, your voice AI agent in a different language, it will still say this in English because this is different. It's a different area of Highlevel. It's in the phone number configuration, not the voice AI agent configuration. So just please understand that. And if you don't want to have any of that recording, then you can just simply turn it off. But I just want to show you some of the ways that you could do that. Sometimes call recording is pretty cool, so you can go back and listen, but there is additional cost to doing call recording and then storing it for a certain period of time. So just please understand that, and because everything has a cost, right? Cost for usage, cost for that kind of thing. So now we're going to sit back and come into the agent, and I'm going to look at closely at the some of the questions. So here we got Johnny, nice blender. Yeah, it's actually they're doing some tile work, so it's actually a little bucket of mortar or something. But do you know what tool GHL is using for the voice AI? I do not. I don't know the backend system. All I know is that they still rely on ChatGPT for all of their AI stuff. Will you be sharing a master prompt to get the most out of AI? No, I won't. Again, I'm not a master at this. Right now, a lot of the stuff you can do can just be work directly off of the prompt that's right here. So sorry, I don't have a super whiz bang master prompt because right now it really depends upon your current situation of what you're building the agent for, and even then, again, your language for that as well. Here's one of the other things that I will have to sit back and let you know as well. Even though we can change this to different languages, English is my primary language. No hablo español. So right now I can sit back and show you how it works, but I can't really go through any of these particular prompts. And I'm not even sure from my testing how the prompt may need to be rewritten if it still can be an English prompt, with regards to configuring chat AI, even for a different language. I don't know about that. So that's just something that you'll have to figure out for yourself because I can't really add any value for that particular perspective. Chad, do you have any recordings for fixing voice AI loopback when asked to transfer the call to a business number to leave a voicemail? I don't think so. Right now, if you can expand on that, Chad, I'm not sure what you mean. Like, if voice AI is set up, then voice AI is going to answer. So I'm not sure what you mean when you say AI looping when you call to transfer to the call. Because when AI transfers a call, using the call transfer feature, AI stops, and then it goes to a certain number. But then again, if that phone number, for instance, if it goes to the boss's cell phone, an example that we had earlier, somebody's asking for a supervisor, it goes to their cell phone, and then if their cell phone is set up to forward back to the main line, yeah, that's going to be a problem. You're going to have to fix that somehow by either not having it forward, or something like that, or setting some kind of timeout on the call. That's a great question, and I don't really have a perfect solution for that one if that's the way you've got it set up, or your client. Do I need an A2P registration for a no toll number? Well, I mean, A2P registration, I'm just going to say, no, you don't need A2P registration for toll-free numbers. They do need to be verified, but I'm not really going to be going into A2P in here. I want to keep it focused on the voice AI. So sorry about that, Ace. Just want to make sure that might be a great topic for later. I actually did just come out with an A2P sort of registration video for my channel, so you might want to check that one out. But right now, what I want to do is start showing you some examples of how this particular agent is configured, and we're going to start doing some testing and just have a little fun with this thing. So right now, it's the agent. Here's the name of the company. We've got English. I'm choosing Natasha the Valley Girl for the language. We're at Chicago time zone, inbound, nothing special. Just you've reached DigiGlobal Agency. How can I help you today? Now, the agent goals is where I've actually changed and modified a few things. Now, one of the things to configure is whenever you switch to advanced mode and you make any changes and you save it, you can't go back to basic mode at that point. You'll have to recreate the agent, just to let you know on that one. So right now, there is some areas that you can configure multiple. You can have ChatGPT ask additional questions. Now, if you sit back and just take the basic prompt, I didn't change anything. This is the basic generated prompt that Highlevel has. But right now, if we scroll down here, I'm going to try to blow this up and try not to mess up the presentation at the same time. So we're going to come down here. Now, notice here, there's a bunch of different questions that's asked. Request the caller's address. That's a part of the voice AI. You can simply remove that if you don't want it here. The reason for the call, it's going to ask that. And then I put this in. Just as an example, I'm sorry about this. This is scrolling is becoming problematic. So right now, if you can't really see this, I'm going to try to blow this up. Make sure you ask the caller the following question before ending the call. Do you have a receptionist that answers the calls for your company? If the answer to this question is no, then ask this follow-up question. Would you be interested in our AI service that will answer calls and gather lead information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? So that's just like an additional piece of information. So if you get a caller and I don't know, maybe they don't have a receptionist and they might be interested in your AI service, you can have the voice AI agent configure that. And I've even got some custom fields that will hold that particular information, and you can even trigger workflows based upon the responses to those questions, which again are pretty cool because now you can have salespeople potentially follow up with this customer regarding the AI service. They're calling it about one thing, and next thing you know, you're selling them their AI service, which is pretty cool, and you're gathering the information on every call. Now, again, another one that I did, what's your astrological sign? If I didn't say that right, astrology sign. I just did that to be funny, funny and something just completely weird out of the thing. So I did put those in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at that, and then just the call conclusion. Now, from here, what I want to do is we're going to test this, but I do want to sit back and just say I've created custom fields to hold information like, do you have a receptionist? Yes or no. Are you interested in our AI service? Yes or no. And what is your astrological sign? Yes or no. Now, here's one of the things that I did find out from my testing. These little update contact fields, this is where you gather all that information. Notice here in the receptionist area, I just called it receptionist. And for this, what contact field do you want to update? If you click on this, these are all the custom fields that you have. I just have one called receptionist. Now, here's the problem that I have with this, not me personally, but I ran across, is in order for you to utilize fields here inside of the voice AI system, the fields have to be a simple text field only. Like right now, I was trying to create some custom fields using radio buttons like yes or no, or multiple drop-down list choices. Those options do not show up in the drop-down list here unless they're simple text, like simple text line, that's it. So I just want to let you know that, if you're starting to create all these custom fields, you kind of have to just do it simple text from my experience. And now you sit back and simply have to answer the next question, what to update in the field. And I just said whether the caller has a receptionist or not based upon the answer to their question. Okay, now down here it gives examples. I gave examples, yes, no. So that's it. So that's kind of how I did that. The astrology sign is just simply that. Answer the question of the caller's astrology sign is. And I gave some examples, Cancer, Leo. Forgive me if I didn't mention yours in here. And then finally, interested in AI service. Again, a simple text field. There is a contact custom field here that I selected. Answer to the caller's question if they are interested in our AI service. If the question is never asked, for instance, if the case is yes, we have a receptionist, then the AI system will not ask the follow-up question because they answered yes to that particular question. So this field could be blank in here if they, depending upon how they answer. But if they do answer, then I want to give either a yes or no answer. So this is kind of the precursor. This is what I've set up as a result of the questions I'm asking. And I'm just going to just confirm I want to cancel this. Now, I do have another workflow that I want to show you that fires off here as well. So if we open this up, excuse me a second. So I see we have some other questions here. I'll get to that in just a minute. So the receptionist answer. So I want to give a basic example of what you can do if they answer something the right way or reply to a certain question and what you can do. So right now, I created a workflow, simple workflow. Not even going to go into it and show it to you. It has no trigger. The reason it doesn't have a trigger is because you don't need a trigger. The AI system will trigger the workflow for you. So you don't need to have a trigger in order to do it. This is sort of the AI agent will manually call the workflow. Okay. So again, no trigger. And all it does is simply add a tag that says no receptionist. So it tags the contact. That's it. And then once it gets tagged, then of course your salespeople could have a smart list inside of the contacts area that says, hey, give me all the people who have no receptionist that called in. And then these could be part of the people that I follow up on based upon whether or not they answer yes or no to are they interested in our AI service. So do you see what that means? You're kind of automating the process, again, this workflow, you can create a task. You can do all kinds of stuff that you want to do. I'm just trying to sit back and show you, give you some ideas. So now that light bulb goes off and you're like, aha, yes, I can do this for my client. This is what I can do. This is how I can do it. And great, now we can start using AI agent to start automatically responding to people's questions. And hopefully this gives you some insight to that. Now, based upon this, what triggers the workflow? When the caller gives an answer if they have a receptionist. So that's it. And then right now, because I have to put something in here, I just simply put, thank you for your reply. So whenever the workflow gets sent out, it'll say, thank you for your reply. And then it will, again, moving on to that. So here I'm going to go ahead and click cancel. And that is the setup that we have right now. Now, I will come over here and just show you, you can use this over here if you want to. I have not had a great amount of luck with this testing your agent. I know they give you 10 minutes, like 10 minutes per day that you could test this because it is a little bit more pricey. But for some reason, I kept running across a large delay when I'm using this, and I wasn't quite sure if it was that day. So I don't care. I'm just using a different sub account, making a phone call, and then now we're going to be able to see how this responds. Let's take a look at some of these other ones. Do I need, I just got here 5 minutes ago, but I am curious on how to master your prompt. Did you recommend using ChatGPT? No, I was just simply, sorry about this, Austin. Right now, I don't have a master prompt for this because it's one of those things where, can you really have a master prompt? Because these voice AI agents, depending upon your particular customer, can be different. Now, that's all. I mean, if you want to, I would just say go hire somebody that really understands AI and prompts, and give them the high level prompt to begin with. Like give them the initial prompt and say, here's what I've got to work from, and I would like it to be able to do this. And then just hire somebody. It shouldn't be that much to have somebody that's really good at AI come up with a great prompt specifically for your particular customer. And then now that could be a part of your onboarding process. Whenever you onboard somebody that's using the voice AI agent, copy this particular prompt and then paste it in on the advanced settings. And then voila, you've got everything already pre-configured. And then you'll just have to come in here and either update the contact fields or workflows and stuff like that, because unfortunately you can't. Those things all have to be built manually. You can't program that. It's, people have asked me, can we do voice AI agents inside of a snapshot? Not to my understanding, that type of information is not available if you take a snapshot of something to make it easier somehow? Like you've got a master prompt, you've got workflows and all these custom fields configured, and can you just drop that in place and make it a lot easier? Not to my knowledge. That information is just not in the snapshots yet. Now, one of the other common questions that I get that I'm just trying to share with you is, can the voice AI agent use the conversational AI agent's learning database? Now, I know this isn't about conversational AI. Maybe we'll have another live to kind of go over that one, but you can program conversational AI, like with the website chat widget and things like that, regarding responses, from either Facebook, Instagram. There's multiple different channels that you configure it, but you can actually program a lot of information inside of there from multiple different locations if you've ever done that. Unfortunately, right now, the AI agent does not have access to that database to respond to questions. So you will, at least not to my knowledge, you'll have to sit back and include those responses in your prompt. If the person asks about this, or even copy and paste a big FAQ and just say ChatGPT use the following FAQ to answer any inbound questions or something like that, if you can. But let's go ahead and start doing some testing here. Ace had a good point here. I called my voice AI, but on the call it said that there was a number that was reported for scam. How can I fix that? To be honest, I don't know. I'm not sure how, like what you, where it said it was reported as scam, like scam likely calls or something like from the phone number. That's really not the voice AI agent. That's kind of the phone system setup. So that'll have to be done through Twilio behind the scenes. But let's go ahead and just practice a few here. This is where it really kind of gets fun and interesting. So I'm going to come over here and just make a phone call from another account. And I've already got this set up here, so let me turn it up so we can really hear it. And let's see what happens here.
This call will be recorded for quality purposes.
We always know that.
Hey, you have reached Digi Global Agency. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I'm looking to get a quote. I need to get my website updated for my company.
Got it. A team member will reach out to you with a quote. Could I get your name, please?
Sure, it is Ray O'Daniel.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your name is Rayodaniel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great, thanks, Ray. Could you please provide your email address so we can contact you?
Sure, it's ray@gmail.com.
Just to make sure I've got it right, your email address is ray@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Could you also share your address, please?
No, thanks.
No worries. What's the main issue you're facing with your website update?
I just got an old website. Just need to get it updated to make it look better.
Got it. We'll make sure someone reaches out to help with that. Do you have a receptionist who answers calls for your company?
No, I don't.
Thank you for your reply.
Thank you for your reply.
You're welcome. By the way, what's your astrological sign?
Cancer.
Nice. Just to wrap things up, a team member will get back to you soon. Thanks for reaching out and have a great day. If you have any more questions or need further assistance, feel free to reach out. Take care.
Okay, sorry about that. I was waiting for it to time out here. So sorry about that. Unfortunately, I think I messed up on the call when it didn't record the information about, are you interested in our AI service on that one. I think because I was trying to sit back and I was speaking to you guys. But you noticed during the call, number one, it said, the call is being recorded. So if you don't want that, turn off call recording. And from that, so, and as a part of that, I kind of messed things up when I was going through there and trying to talk. But you heard it say, thank you very much for that, and you've heard when I replied, the workflow kicked off for that one. So that you heard, and you could tell that because the voice AI configuration for that where it said what do you want to say here? Thank you for your reply. You heard that person say that. And then when they said that, then they went back into the prompt and started asking additional questions. Now from there, what I wanted to kind of show you is we did gather some data. Now we didn't answer the stuff about the AI agent. We can kind of do that again if we want to. But right now what I want to do is just hop over here and take a look at the account that it created. Yes, it created all the information. So it gathered all the information and did not do the address because I did not give it. But if you take a look here, sorry, I've got a lot of fields in here. But if you did this right here, notice that number one, what's your astrological sign? Cancer. So again, it did take my answer, convert it to a text, and be able to insert that into the custom field. Do you have a receptionist? No. But it didn't ask me about the AI service because again, I think I don't know why it didn't. It should have followed up even though I kind of interrupted it. So that's something that you would have to end up doing some testing for. But one of the other things I wanted to show you was from this, where is it at here? Just the tag. So right now, tag, notice now that we're tagged with no receptionist. So from there, if we take a look at that, we will see that inside the automation. If we come here to look at this one for receptionist reply, it is active. And if we look at the enrollment history, we do see that that I did go through there here at this particular time, and everything went through fine. So that right there is just a couple of ways that, depending upon how the conversation goes, you can program the voice AI to trigger something and move forward with it. So right now, just take a look here for questions. If you just have a space in the field regarding call recording, it will not say that message at the beginning of the call. Okay, perfect. So if it doesn't do that, then you can turn that feature off. Perfect. But right now, if we do come back and take a look at the context for this, now again, you might want to sit back and at least turn on call recording initially, just to kind of see how well the AI agent does. So when you do that, now you've got this nice call recording, 2 minutes and 7 seconds that you can call and listen to again. So you can have some oversight and just see how well the conversations are going and then make adjustments. Now, one of the other things that I wanted to bring up here is at the end of the call is if the person keeps speaking, like me, I was purposely holding up my finger because I didn't want to say anything. I was just trying to hold on, but I was waiting for it to time out. So if you notice at the end of the call, the AI just kind of said, well, if you have anything else, let me know. And then it was like another 15 seconds of inactivity that it finally just disconnected the call and hung up. So hopefully the person would just hang up themselves on their side. I didn't. I let the AI agent time out. But again, that's all it is. It will eventually time out, but it will not go longer than the time you allotted it, which is 5 minutes. If you remember that the time after 5 minutes, the call will just stop. Even if you're still having to gather information. So that's really how the kind of voice AI agent works, how you can request additional information. Now again, I'm sorry that we don't have any sort of super master prompt for you. I wasn't thinking about that. That could have been something that I tried to come up with, but the bottom line was I'm just trying to sit back and show you how you can use this agent, request additional fields, map those responses into a custom field, what type of custom fields you need to create, just so that you don't run across all these problems that I've experienced. You could just move forward with what I've done and be very good at it. Now, what I would like to do is simply come in here and show you the different language now. This is where we can have some fun. So right now I'm going to sit back and just move this to Spanish. That's a common one. Now also, I do want to let you know, I'm going to tell you this and then we're going to hear it. Right now, unfortunately, you have to make sure that you put this initial message here in Spanish as well. Okay? So if you don't, it'll say this initial message because this is what you have in here. So you have to change this to whatever the Spanish version of that is in order for the Spanish to pick up and for it to say something. So right now, when we take a look at it here, at least in my testing previously, there is a Spanish person that comes on board. If you take a look here, notice that this is Martin. From this, you've got 3 different kinds of different voices in Spanish to use. I'm just going to use the default. It doesn't really matter to me. But it will speak English initially with this right here. And then afterwards, it'll go in Spanish. So Let's go ahead and click save, come back over here, click done, and simply make a phone call again and see what we get here. I'm going to cancel that one because I was just thinking to myself, why not do something, sorry, I forget who it was that came in here. Well, let's go ahead and just turn that, remove that text here. So let's just go ahead and just remove all this. Incorporate that, sort of this live comments here into the training. So now we don't have that. Now let's come back here and, well, I don't need to update that because we're not going to go through the whole process because I don't understand Spanish, even though some of the callers on here may. Take a look here. Oh, thanks, Austin, for that for the comment, by the way.
Hey, you have reached DG Global Agency. How can I help you today?
I'm looking to build a new website.
Parece que hay un poco de silencio. ¿Hay algo más en lo que pueda ayudarte?
No hablo español.
No worries. We can continue in English. How can I assist you today?
I'm looking to build a website. Can you help me?
It seems like there's a bit of silence. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Yes, I need to get a quote on building a website.
It seems like we got disconnected. Feel free to reach out again if you need any assistance. Have a great day.
So right there, you kind of see we already have some issues right there. With again, this is still in beta mode, but right now, a couple of things that we picked up and learned was number one, if you want to have your the initial message, you need to sit back and make sure you put that text for your agent in Spanish. So right now we're going to do this again because again, I don't know. I'm going to sit back and copy this, go to my Google Translate and put this in Spanish. I already had that ready. I knew I was going to end up using it. So I'm going to come here and paste the Spanish equivalent and I'm going to click save. Now, one of the things that was pretty cool that we saw there was if I knew enough to just simply say no hablo español, meaning I don't speak Spanish, I at least know that, then at that point it said, no worries, we will continue in English, which was great. It actually converted it, so if somebody does call this particular number and they do want to speak English, that it can automatically, dynamically do that. But notice that what happened is that it couldn't hear what I was saying. It could somehow that particular part broke whenever it switched. And again, this language is still in beta, so just take this with a grain of salt. This may have some additional issues. So I think we already found one of them where it switches, from Spanish back to English. But let's go ahead and just take a quick listen again for this one here. And listen primarily for the intro now. So now the intro, because we put that in Spanish, the speaker is going to be able to say everything completely in Spanish.
Hola, has contactado con la agencia global Digi. ¿Cómo puedo ayudarte hoy?
No hablo español.
No hay problema. Let's continue in English. Could you please tell me your name?
Ray O'Daniel.
It seems like there might be some silence on the line.
So again, we have that same kind of problem here. So I might have to let Highlevel know that at least that was a first bug that I've kind of found and run through is whenever it switches from Spanish and converts back to English, then for some reason none of the voice comes across over there. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but I at least want to be able to show you and just kind of show you some of the configurations if you want to start playing around with this in different languages. By all means, go ahead and do so. I'm going to make sure I copy this and reset this so I don't mess myself up later for another future presentation. But but that's really kind of what I wanted to show you guys today. If you guys had any other specific questions, I'd be happy to help you. But just right now, just remember, guys, I'm going to be having these lives. I'm going to look at having them once a week. Please stay tuned to my YouTube channel for some of the updates. I don't believe I'm going to continue to have them on Friday. I'm looking, typically I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I may end up having them on another one of those days. But just watch my posts for this. And again, moving forward here, only the members of my channel will be able to log in and trying to go back and forth with being able to ask questions and stuff like that. So guys, I want to say thanks so much. Let me take a quick look here to see if there's any other questions. Johnny, I appreciate that. Sean, thanks for hanging in there with me and joining me. Who else we got here? Ace, Austin. Oh yeah, Austin, thanks so much for that. And notice also Austin's comment about removing that text. It didn't say anything beforehand, which is great. So now you can record it and not have any problem. And then the Spanish speaker can go directly into speaking without having to be interrupted. And I did test it. I tried to put in that call recording, I tried to put Spanish in there, and it pretty much just read the Spanish like English kind of thing. So it doesn't say that in a different language, even if you want to have something in there. But just be careful, because if you are doing call recordings, it could be necessarily illegal in that particular state, wherever you're doing business at or country, to record somebody's call without their permission or something like that. So just be careful about the call recording. I know that could be kind of a touchy subject, but I'm not a lawyer. That's not legal advice. That's just a fair warning. But hey guys, thanks so much for everything. I appreciate it, and just stay tuned for next week. If you have not subscribed to my channel, click on the subscribe button. As an affiliate of Highlevel, if you are looking to get signed up or using the AI employee feature like I told you before, use my link below. You will get a 30-day free trial, or if you're looking to upgrade to Pro, all of that stuff you become an affiliate of mine, and you have access to me for me to be able to help you to be successful. I do have an affiliate support community where I sit back and help my affiliates with certain business problems and things like that I can sit back and help you. And my goal is just to help you be successful. Guys, thanks so much for hanging in there with me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.